Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. This is Pat with Angel Divination YouTube channel with our Oracle card reading and message from Monday, the 28th of January, 2013. We're coming into the end of January. It's hard to believe that the whole first month of the new year has gone by, but wow, it really has. So today, of course, it's Monday, so we'll be calling on the Mermaids, Mermaid Monday, to see what their message is for us in the YouTube community today. So call upon the mermaids and for whatever messages they have for us for today. And as we start off our week. So it was a very busy and exciting weekend. I hope it was for you too. Let's see what's going on for this week. Okay, all right, so out comes helpful person. And this says, someone wants to help you. Think of who that might be and initiate contact. And I feel like for some of you, this might be, reaching out to a friend who's like a counselor to you, who's very comforting, someone that you like to talk to that's very comforting, that you just kind of want to bounce some stuff off of, or, it almost feels like, too, like maybe a friend that you haven't talked to in a long time. And you're just kind of needing and wanting to reconnect with them. So, and as you think about it and say, and maybe you are as this card indicates, are the ones who initiates the contact and reaches out to them. You might find it's one of those instances where they say, oh, I was just thinking about you, and here you are calling me. So, trust on that and that guidance. So, but I do feel like it's a need for some counseling in some way with someone that you conceive of to be wiser than yourself, or just, has a little bit more wisdom in a particular area of life that you may be having trouble coping with. Maybe they've been through it before, what you're going through now, kind of a thing. So, but it's about seeking out help in general, and maybe you're feeling like you need to figure out where to go next, or in any case, you need to initiate it. Okay. You need help to figure out, in some ways, there's some a desire on your part to reach out to someone who can, like I said, initially my hit was that it was about like a counselor type person, or someone, a good friend that you feel is like a counselor. So, but it's about you initiating and reaching out to that person. But it could be an expert as well, someone who's a professional at something. But in some way, just like this card shows you, it's kind of like these three mermaids who are together, who are kind of like girlfriends, and they're very close, and it's someone who you feel close to. Even if it's a professional that you're reaching out to, it's someone that you maybe feel like a closer bond with. That maybe they've been a good friend for years, and you've known them for a long time. So that's what I get about this card today. I also feel like you may just find that as you go about your day that there are a lot of helpful people around. I know Mondays are kind of like, it can be like Manic Monday. It's the day that everybody has to get back to work or back to school, and a lot of times people are a bit cranky or grumbly kind of thing. But it may be one of those days too where surprisingly you might find out that people are actually being pretty helpful. That they actually are pretty fresh and willing to help you out quite a bit. So another card that flipped out is time to move on. And this card says, it's time to let go of the old and worn out so that the new can come in. And that's very much, there's a full moon, the end of a full moon in Leo, as I understand, going on right now. So it's really, and as I understand with the full moon in Leo, it's about things in a big way. So it's, it may have to do with letting go of some big, very deeply rooted beliefs that are keeping you where you're at. um, or you are just making a big move, or being guided to make a big move. So to a new place to really kind of go after the big dream. But in some ways, it's letting you know, and like I said, it's not surprising that it comes up at the full moon, because the full moon is a time of releasing, and sometimes there are full moon cycles when we let go of a lot of stuff, a lot of old karma. And in this image, she's kind of she's walking out of the water, kind of gazing back a little at it a little bit, and it's not unusual to, as we move on from one thing, to just look back at the lessons and, what that experience brought to us. And it's not looking back longingly, really. It's just kind of like that last glance, like, yeah, that may have brought me this in my life. It is time to go. It is time to move on. It's the end of a cycle. Maybe the person, the situation, the relationship has served its purpose, and it's, so it's time to be done with it and move on. But, you can look back at it or glance back at it, thankfully, gratefully, for what it brought to you. And a lot of times it brought you to this, it gave you what you needed to bring you to this next step that you're going to move into. So look at it that way. I feel like she's walking out of the water. And, there's waves behind her that are kind of pushing her forward. So, ride those waves of change and be grateful for what it brought to you. Even if it was maybe a difficult or even toxic situation and you've decided that's it, I got to go, bless yourself for that realization and for looking at it from the perspective of, okay, it helped me to understand that a lot better. It gave me, new strengths, maybe some new skills and abilities, or maybe some new awarenesses, some new blessings, and, take those with you. So that's what that, as she glances back, that's part of what it's about. So anyways, an interesting start to the week. I hope you have a lovely Monday, and I look forward to speaking with you again very soon. Take care, everyone.